What's up guys, this is Matt from Mazdaspeed3 Tapes, back with another video on my Mazdaspeed3. Today we're going to be doing an in-depth review. We're going to be going over how the modability is on it, like parts availability. As you can see, it's pretty good, but we'll get to that. How it is in different conditions like rain, snow, and in the summer. How it is cornering in a straight line. We're going to be going over the interior, what I like about it, what I don't. This is going to be my opinions on the car and where this car came from. It obviously wasn't two colors. It was one color, it's pearl white. I got it completely stock with 39,000 miles on it. It's now at 70. Started modifying it around 50,000, like 49,000. We're just going to start with the experience in the different conditions, because if you're trying to buy the car as a daily or if you're trying to buy it as a race car, either way you're going to want to know what the difference is in conditions, so we'll start there. I drove it as a daily for the first 10,000 miles of its life roughly until I started putting mods on it. It does great, not that good in the snow. If you put winter tires on and you know how to drive a clutch, you can pretty well. So I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 in the snow. In the rain, it's great if you got good tires. A lot of it's based off the tires, so you just got to put the money up for the good tires to do good in conditions. But it'll do the rest. It's got great suspension on it from its stock. It's a pretty top of the line car that Mazda produced in the time. So I'd give it in the rain, giving good tires like a 7 out of 10. Like, it's not that bad. Front wheel drive cars are good in the rain. They won't kick their tail out that easily. The weight distribution is good in it. So yeah, 7 out of 10 in the rain. In the summer, like an 8 out of 10. But leading into that, it depends what you want to do. On the highway, it's great. Now I consider it more of a highway car. In the back roads and in the corners, I do get beat by like every other car. It's not the best in the corners, I'll be honest. It's not bad, but you really got to push it, and it's just not as good as the modern day WRX or GTI or pretty much any car in its category. It's going to lose in cornering. So if you're buying for a backwards car, it's not bad, but it's not the best. Go for an all-wheel drive car or a rear-wheel drive car. But since I put on coilovers and different tires and wheels, it has improved a lot. You got to get sway bars for it still. As far as it goes with being in a straight line, I think it's more a straight line car. I don't like doing digs with it because it's front wheel drive and it never gets traction, even with the radials I put on there. By the way, the tires are Falcon RT660s. Yeah, RT660. They're like a radial equivalent, it's radial compound, like AAA compound, I think. They've been great. They don't get the best traction in first and second. I'm going to move to R888Rs, see how that does me. But they're not bad. But yeah, I'd consider it more of a straight line car than a cornering car. Corners, I'd give it like a 5 out of 10 in corners, but in a straight line and like a highway roll racing car, like a 7.5 out of 10, especially if you do the mods necessary. So like, I have a bigger turbo, the B&R S3. Yeah, if you want to see it mainly more in depth, go to the build breakdown video. Link will be in the description. Now, my experience modifying the car, there's very good parts availability for the car. Like, there's multiple websites just for speeds. Especially the Gen 2 Speed 3 has more parts than the Gen 1 Speed 3, I'd say. A lot more. Different exhaust setups. I went for the full CPE exhaust setup now. It's hard to find catless setups these days, but they're still out there. The eBay parts availability, if you're looking to go that route, is still pretty convenient. Yeah, I haven't found an issue with going any sort of power route. There's easy tracks to go to 500 wheel with Cork Sport. It can handle some boost, for sure. Stock, the car makes about 12 to 14 pounds of boost, I'd say. It's been a while. The stock boost gauge in the car goes up to about 15 PSI. It's like a digital bar gauge in the middle cluster. You can add an access port with these cars. That's where you want to start. If you're going to go the modifying route, you get an access port intake, exhaust, which is pretty much where I started. And with these cars, the big thing is the high pressure fuel pumps. They're internals, you gotta replace them like off the bat before you even do an intake and exhaust. But you're gonna need your access port. You modify it, it goes up probably 2 pounds each time. Every time you get it modified. You can go with the off-the-shelf maps that access port offers, that Cobb offers, but everybody preaches don't run them, and I have only ran them for a little bit of time, then you just go for a custom one. You can look for reviews from other people that have modified their speeds to look for the best tuners. There's a lot available. But to throw out some names like Freak Tune, I'm tuned by Purple Drink, by Will at Purple Drink. There's Nishan. There's a variety of guys that tune these cars. Right now the car's sitting at 21 pounds, it peaks at like 23. It pulls hard every gear up until redline. Redline's at like 7,800. Stock redline's at like 72 something. We turned up my idle to 1,000. The block I'd say is good for like 400 or 500, but I've seen people be pushing them right now, which is ridiculous, but it's only a matter of time. Very good parts availability for these cars. We'll talk about the transmission a little bit. I don't know the specific name of the trans, but it's a 6-speed. It's pretty good gearing. It runs through first and second. You'll be spinning those two almost all the time. You've heard of bad wheel hop, that's true. It's got really bad torque steer. There are ways to combat that, like I have all upgraded engine mounts, that definitely helps with that. It keeps it more of in a straight line when you're trying to go. Recommend doing all of those things, but the trans isn't that bad. It holds all of my gears. Second gear seems to go out in a lot of cars. My second gear pops out on deceleration, so I just hold it in gear though, and it's fine. It's been fine for the past 2 years that I've owned it. But other than that, the trans is great. It holds speed fine. You're going to top out around 135 to like 150. It's when like it starts just getting drawn out. But you couldn't upgrade the trans, it'd be fine. Aesthetically, you can get canard kits. There's multiple websites that make different canards, lips, splitters, diffusers. They get kind of expensive. They're kind of middle of the run cars, so like if you're looking for a diffuser, there's like 2 available honestly. They're like $200 to $500, $600 from Aeroflow, and some other separate companies that make them, and there's some that are coming up. But canards, hood scoops, you can get anything. Wing extensions, I got my carbon fiber mirrors, those are my favorite almost. Everything makes it put together. There's no aftermarket taillight options, which is irritating. You have to get custom taillights or just smoke them out like everybody does. Wheels are easy to buy for these cars. I mean, you can fit a very large variety of wheels. If you want to get like big 3-piece wheels, you're gonna have to wide body the car or something crazy. You can buy bags for these cars. You can go every different route you want to go with them. Modifying it is not an issue. If you're enjoying the video so far and you're finding this information to be helpful in your purchase, whether you're trying to buy a Speed 3 or you're just looking for one, or see if yours is doing the same as it's been doing, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We upload every Wednesday. Don't miss an upload. We got my Speed 3, we got our S2000, IS300 that drifts, or WRX. We got a large variety of cars that go on the channel. Up every Wednesday, 11 a.m. And we got our Instagram at 7 Miles Garage for daily content. Moving on to the interior of the car, I haven't found it to be my favorite. It's got this weird speckled patterns everywhere, and the seats are comfy. They are comfy. I don't have a problem driving long distances with the car. Dailying this car would honestly be amazing. If you didn't modify it, it'd be great, but even with modifying it, it's still great. I find the big restriction to be the front wheel drive, but anyway, back to the interior. The seats are comfortable, the shifting is comfortable, the steering wheel is comfortable, everything's nice. The AC works great, the heat works great. There's not really anything I'd complain about in the interior except you can't get a black roof unless you do a custom. That irks me. And the dash peels up at a certain part. It used to be a recall, but now all the cars are out of recall, so that's not fun. That's a thing, and you also get some sticky dashes. So if you're into purchasing one, look for the dash folding up and look for the sticky dash. Back seats have plenty of room. Your center console's got plenty of room. Glove box got plenty of room. Electronics work great. My radio hasn't taken any weird issues yet. It's been years, stock radio. The interior is great on these cars. It feels like what it is. I mean, it's a plastic interior. I'd rather like to swap the Gen 1 speed seats into it, but we'll see if that ever happens. Yeah, I'd rate the interior like a 7 out of 10. It's pretty good for its generation and its time, I'd say. Especially if you get the tech package. The tech package speeds are really really good for their time. It's also got a stock boost gauge in the stock gauge cluster right in the middle. It's a pretty good gauge cluster, honestly. You got your RPMs on the, what would be your right and the speed on your left. And then you got your boost gauge in the middle and all your lights. Boost gauge is pretty good. It's functioning too. It's awesome. Good touch that Mazda added there from the factory. To loop it all together to give you my final take on the car, I would recommend it as a daily. I've heard people dailying these cars for years. One guy I work with has had his Mazdaspeed since it's been purchased at 2013. They're great cars. They will last if you treat them correctly. But they will also bite you, like I said, if you don't treat them correctly. So if you're going to modify it, just do it correctly. Do it, take the right paths, talk to people that have modified them, get on the forums and everything. Maybe not the forums, don't get grilled, because it's a pretty, the forum group is kind of mean. To be blunt with you, the speed forum is not the nicest. You will get roasted. Do your own research first and then you won't get roasted. That's the only thing people get angry at people for, is when you don't try to figure it out on your own first and you just go asking questions. So you can find answers online, but just do your own research first. I would highly recommend it as a daily driver. I know a lot of guys that have done daily drivers in these cars for years, like talking 10 years plus with no issues, no replacing motors. And there's guys that have been driving it for a month and have to replace the motor out of nowhere. Just gotta keep up on the maintenance on the drivetrain and treat it with respect, and it'll be good cardio. I hope this video has helped you in your thought process of maybe purchasing a Speed, or if you just wanted to know what my experience was like running mine. It's a great time. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, drop any comments, maybe how long you've had your Speed for. If you've ran into any big issues, have you blown through a motor yet? I blew up my turbo, but that's in a different video. If you enjoyed today's video and you think my review helped in your purchase of your Speed 3, if you're looking to buy, or if you're just looking to see what my experience was like running mine, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We upload videos every Wednesday. Me and all the other boys, we got all of our other cars to make videos on. Next, I'm thinking we're going to do the video on Jake's S2000, diagnosing the issue that we're hearing in the rear. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. To give a thanks back to those that support the channel, everybody that gets your friends to subscribe to us, and everybody that helps to push us to make greater videos every week, we're going to be doing a giveaway for 500 subscribers. So tell everybody you know to subscribe. We're going to be putting out small videos soon on how to enter. But everybody that's already subscribed, you're going to be already entered. You're just going to have to let us know that you are subscribed. So we'll be going over that in a short video soon. Be on the lookout.